India's baby bust is real. IVF is stepping in. It's time the government catches up to understand the context better. The latest report released by the United Nations Population Fund UNFPA, titled The Real Fertility Crisis, found that around 30% of Indians have an unfulfilled desire to have either more or fewer children. It said that millions of individuals are not able to realize their true fertility goals, a crisis that often goes unnoticed. Data show that India's total fertility rate (TFR) has declined to roughly 1.9 births per woman, which is below the replacement threshold of 2.1. The report says that the real crisis is not underpopulation or overpopulation, but rather that people are unable to have as many children as they wish. It highlights that the key health-related barrier is infertility, which affects nearly 13% of the population and prevents many couples from starting or expanding families. Since the report's launch, several IVF chains have made announcements related to expansion or undertaken promotional activities. Market gearing up in smaller towns. In vitro fertilization IVF clinics are now trying to become a common sight across Tier II and Tier III cities. The report highlights that with 1 in 6 couples in India experiencing infertility, there is a growing need to improve access to fertility care in these areas. Recognizing the big business potential, these chains have been pushing into smaller markets like Haldwani, Namakkal, Meerut, Prayagraj, Vellore, and others. Jobit Agarwal, CEO of Nova IVF Fertility, told News 18 that half of the company's centers are in these underserved areas. Accessibility remains a major challenge in Tier II and Tier III regions, where couples often must travel to metro cities, incurring additional costs for travel and accommodation. Our expansion into towns like Pollachi, Tirupur, Namakkal, Guntur, and Vellore is aimed at bridging this gap and making international standard fertility treatment available in these regions. He also pointed out that there is a positive change happening in these regions with greater awareness, rising acceptance of fertility treatments, and improving affordability. With states like Karnataka, Tamil Nadu, Andhra Pradesh, and Sikkim witnessing a steady fall in fertility rates, our presence in these markets is both timely and crucial. However, the major task at hand for these chains is to break the stigma and myths around IVF, a task that is already underway. According to Navin Desai, co-founder and clinical embryologist at Archiesh Fertility IVF, the latest UNFPA report on population collapse is a stark reminder of the demographic shifts reshaping our world, with aging societies and declining birth rates. For the IVF sector, this presents both a concern and an opportunity. On one hand, it's unfortunate that more individuals and couples are struggling with fertility. On the other hand, it reinforces the urgent need for accessible, high-quality fertility care. This is a defining moment for the IVF industry to lead with innovation, improve access, and dismantle stigma, not just to meet rising demand, but to contribute meaningfully to the future of global reproductive health. Desai's chain has recently launched a few initiatives focused on education and awareness, mainly to break the stigma and misinformation. One of those is the Fearless Fertility campaign, which includes expert insights and digital content that debunks common myths such as IVF being the last resort or only for older couples. It also runs myth-busting infographics and reels, bite-sized educational content addressing top myths like IVF always results in twins or infertility is only a woman's issue. These are localized into different languages to reach a broader audience. Birla Fertility IVF launched a toll-free support line last week to offer free and confidential fertility counseling. The company said the service is available across India in English and Hindi and may expand into regional languages as well. The aim is to provide accessible, stigma-free guidance for individuals and couples exploring or undergoing fertility-related decisions. The objective is to fill a gap in emotional and educational support for people navigating parenthood planning and challenges, said Abhishek Agrawal, Chief Executive Officer, Birla Fertility IVF. The chain currently operates around 30 centers in Tier II and Tier III cities and plans to open around 15 more in the financial year 2526, with 2/3 of them located in smaller cities. Indira IVF, the biggest infertility player in India, has also announced plans to enter over 25 Tier II cities by the financial year 2027. Government should take the lead while the private market is all in action, there is a need for price regulation as well as players who can serve those with limited resources and income. According to industry estimates, the average cost for accessing IVF services stands at around Rs 1 lakh to 2.5 rupees lakh per cycle in private clinics. In Tier I metro clinics such as Delhi, Mumbai and Bangalore, the cost could be as high as 4 rupees lakh per cycle, whereas in Tier II and Tier III cities, clinics ask for around 80,000 rupees, said an industry expert, requesting anonymity. He explained that on average, couples require 2 to 3 IVF cycles to achieve a successful pregnancy, but this varies significantly based on age, health, embryo quality, and underlying fertility issues. Some may achieve pregnancy in the first go, and some may not even after 4 to 5 attempts. Hence, IVF treatment often becomes a financial black hole. Sample this: if the cost of undergoing one cycle of IVF is Rs 1 lakh and a woman achieves pregnancy in the third attempt, the bill at IVF centers stands at 3 rupees lakh, and in the majority of cases, payments are made in advance. Hence, to help those who cannot afford private IVF chains, the government needs to intervene. An encouraging example is Mumbai's government-run Kama Hospital, which is gearing up to provide free IVF treatment for women. Last year, it started offering basic fertility treatments such as intrauterine insemination and ovulation induction. Swipe left for next video. Overall, the government should plan and play a crucial role in making IVF and fertility treatments more accessible and equitable. This can be achieved by including IVF under public health insurance schemes like Ayushman Bharat, subsidizing treatment costs for low-income couples, and expanding ART services in government hospitals through public-private partnerships. In short, addressing infertility as a public health concern rather than a private burden is key to supporting India's demographic future. Latest blogs.